Okay, so today the trailer dropped for Morbius, the very first teaser trailer. They call it a teaser trailer. It's 2 minutes and 54 seconds. The damn thing is a full-on trailer. And the trailer doesn't necessarily say a lot. It is a tease. It sets up the story. Dr. Michael Morbius has a rare blood issue and he's got to go and do something extreme in order to cure himself because he's near the point of death, and he ends up like becoming a vampire and basically becomes superhuman. And well, all things considered, like Batman. He kind of becomes like a weird version of Batman, but like a literal figurative version of Batman, or like Man-Bat would probably be the better way to describe it. But that's what he does. And then at the end of the trailer, Michael Keaton shows up. Right, you're looking at Victor Toombs, or Adrian Toombs. Sorry, Adrian Toombs. Victor Toombs is from Chronicles of Riddick, but you've got Adrian Toombs shows up, the Vulture shows up, and it's like, what the hell is going on here? Like, what kind of trailer is this? And I'm not knocking it, or really, I'm not knocking it. I watched the trailer a couple times, couldn't really pull what I feel to be a lot of good screen grabs off of it. That's the weirdest thing about this trailer. I thought, do I do a breakdown of the trailer? Because there's 2 minutes and 54 seconds of stuff here. And the truth of the matter is, no, because there's like 3 or 4 decent screenshots to pull from it, and that's really about it, which makes me kind of question the movie itself. And I say that because a lot of the stuff that they showed was not the stuff people are talking about isn't necessarily the character of Dr. Michael Morbius, because it's everything around it. And that is not necessarily where you want to be. So for one, let's start off with the fact that when Sony had talked about, when they dropped the little intro, and they're like, from the studio that brought you Spider-Man Homecoming, and then they said from the studio that brought you Spider-Man Far From Home, I'm thinking Marvel Studios had nothing to do with this, because right before that it said in association with Marvel, not Marvel Studios, and we all know Marvel Studios. We all know that banner, we all know that sound, we all know that logo. And then it says like, oh, from the studio that brought you Venom. And so yes, while it's technically being accurate that Sony Productions Sony Pictures is what produced Spider-Man Homecoming, Far From Home, and Venom, I mean, we know that it was Marvel who did Homecoming and Far From Home. So it's like this, again, it's this weird, it's a trickery sort of thing. And I don't necessarily like that, because to me, it feels like Ghostbusters 2016 all over again, when it's all like, 30 years ago, 4 scientists saved the city. And everyone's like, wait a minute here, hold on, ein Minuten bitte. It was 3 scientists and one every guy. And then the next day, for the international trailer, they tweaked it to say 4 friends saved the city. So it kind of, they listened to the criticism on that one. And then after that, it was all a gigantic crap show. But then they said Venom. Like, okay, so now we know it's Sony, and that's the weird thing, is they're trying to play up the whole idea that it's that they had more to do with Spider-Man Far From Home and Homecoming than they did. And let's be realistic here. It's like, I know Tony Vincent Guerra is trying to be like, no, we did a job, we did a thing. We know you didn't do it. Like, come on. Everyone knows that was Kevin Feige. Everyone knows that was Kevin Feige. And you guys just like, you're taking the credit, which you can do because you paid for it. So that's true. You did that so you can pay for it. But we all know the truth on this one, right? We all absolutely know the truth. And you're trying to memory hole a couple things here, and it ain't going to work. It ain't going to play. It ain't going to fly. But then the character Dr. Michael Morbius, we get a bit of his backstory. Kind of felt to me like I'm watching the old Daredevil trailer, right, for some reason. And then, he's a scientist. And he's trying to work on this blood thing, whatever. We already know the story, right? He becomes a living vampire. But it's a comic book character that was popular back in the day. I remember liking him quite a bit when he popped up on Spider-Man animated series back in the day. That's generally my experience with the character. And I kind of feel like that is ultimately what Sony is doing with this movie. Sony wants to set up that parallel MCU, and they're doing Morbius, but they're doing it, I believe, R-rated, probably as a way to kind of tap into that market that people have been desperate for in regards to Marvel content. We have the R-rated Deadpool, but now that that's with Disney, and it should still be rated R, we don't know, but we're not going to get like another Logan. We're like New Mutants is PG-13 when it was rumored to be rated R back a couple years ago. Even though Josh Boone's like, it was always PG-13, whatever, dude, everyone wanted to be rated R, you should just given it to him. So there's all that. And then, so the trailer itself is kind of bland. It's kind of bland, but the cool bits are like seeing him with the comic accurate look that we saw from that leaked image, which is like the only image that was in the trailer of him looking like, the Morbius the vampire part of it, really, that we got a clear look on. And that's kind of funny to me, because that leaked out early to get hype. And then yesterday, the image leaked out of him walking and then seeing Spider-Man as a murderer, and then it being the Sam Raimi suit because of the legality issues involving Sony and Marvel and the Tom Holland movies and everything else. But clearly this takes place in the Far From Home world. And so that's cool that this is going to take place parallel to that. And then at the end, all of a sudden, Adrian Toomes shows up, and you're like, oh, wow, Michael Keaton's here. Holy crap, that's pretty cool. Wait, are they setting up Sinister Six? And then that was trending on Twitter. I mean, we've known that Sony's wanted to do a Sinister Six movie. Hell, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 in 2014, so nearly a 6-year-old movie, had a big setup for Sinister Six in the film. We know that Drew Goddard was going to write and direct the movie before Amy Pascal decided to kill that and then work the deal with Kevin Feige in order to make Tom Holland into Spider-Man and bring it all over and everything else. We know that was going to be a thing. And then now we're just in a weird place where they're like, okay, we're running this side universe, and we don't know what else is going to happen. So the movie opens up in July. The trailer is definitely cool. One of my friends texted me and was just like, oh man, Sony just effed up Disney. And I'm all like, how? I like, how did they do it? How did they F up Disney? We saw Adrian Toomes. That's it. And then you had people sit there going like, oh, Kevin Feige this morning, duh, he must be freaking the hell out. You're telling me Feige, the most powerful producer in Hollywood, the guy who has all the money, all the power, all the play, doesn't know what Sony is up to, didn't know what they were doing when they were shooting this movie? He gave notes on Venom, which was a competing studio's film. He's given notes on other Sony properties. Like, he's given notes. So, Feige is 100% in the know, which means that them bringing over Adrian Toomes into this was something that Sony had access to. Sony could use that in order to do it, and that's what they found a way to make it work. Again, this Sony's Marvel universe running parallel to the MCU is going to be interesting because the rumor has it that it's going to run like the MCU is going to go like this, and it's going to go like this, and these are going to reference. There's going to be touch points, but this is never going to touch back, right? So it's going to be like the Netflix Defender shows where it touches in, but it never touches back, and that's a problem because they should just work the deal to make it work. If Morbius is a success, and I think it has a potential to be a success. They're opening it on the same weekend that Spider-Man Far From Home came out last year. They want to get that July 4th box office hit. Then it's possible that they're going to be really doing everything they can to tie this into the MCU in some way or another. And I think that's going to be really fascinating to see what's going to happen on that front. But at the same time, this trailer was not the most wowing thing I ever saw. Like I said, it has a lot more to do with just being what we saw that was around Dr. Michael Morbius, not necessarily Morbius himself, because people want to see Blade team up with Morbius because it happened in the comics, it happened in the animated show. It's a big fan favorite sort of thing. We know Mahershala Ali is going to be playing Blade. We know it's going to be coming in some form or another. And we know that through the Sony deal that they're able to take Marvel characters and move them over, but they're not necessarily able to take Sony characters and move them over here. So I could see Blade showing up in Morbius. I could see that being a thing as a teaser at the end of that movie, because that is part of the deal. And it would be the smart move to do that. Although, look, that's just pure speculation, pure fan speculation. I literally have no idea what this movie is going to bring to the table. Am I going to go see it? Yeah, dude, 100%. Like, I'm 100% on board to go see this movie. For one, I love me some Michael Keaton. I felt the Vulture was a fantastic villain, and I'd like to see whatever else they've got in store for this. I found Venom to be pleasantly surprising, never mind the fact that I didn't quite care for the teaser trailer. I've watched it a few times. I actually really enjoyed the movie, and I have a feeling that if this is being done in the same vein, and they're trying to play to a larger universe, and they're trying to make it work in that particular sandbox, by all means, let's do it. You know what I mean? Like, let's do it. I think it will be fine, and it will be a lot of fun, and it will be something fascinating overall. But that being said, I leave it to you, your thoughts, your opinions. How do you feel this trailer worked for you? Good, bad, or the other? I want to hear your thoughts. Let me know down in the comments below. I'll talk to you all later. Have yourself a great day, and peace out.